Our next examples in basic rhythmic training are going to introduce 3/4 time. We looked in our first unit in basic rhythmic training, we looked at 2/4 time, where we have 2 beats in every measure. Now in 3/4 time, it's going to be almost exactly the same, except we're going to have 3 beats in every measure. And let's just take a look as an example at example number 19. So here's our time signature over here. 3/4 time, telling us that we're going to get 3 beats in every measure. And if we look at the actual measures, we'll see this is the case. In the first measure, we have 3 beats. We have 1 beat here, and that's a quarter note, so that gets 1 beat. We have the second beat of the measure here, and that's another quarter note, and the third beat of the measure here, and that's another quarter note. Here we have 1, 2, 3 beats, and they're all taken up by the dotted half note, which gets 3 beats. In the next measure, on each of the 3 beats, we have a quarter note, and then again we have another dotted half note. 1, 2, 3. Down in the second line, we have 3 beats in this measure. The half note that's in the first beat, or on the first and second beats, starts the measure off, and then we have a quarter note. Same thing in this next measure. Same thing in this next measure. And then finally, in this last measure, we have a dotted half note. So let me perform for you what this would sound like. Going from the top of number 19. Ta, 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 ta. It's always a good idea, by the way, and let's get in the habit of doing this as we're working on rhythmic examples. As you're working on any kind of music, whether you're an instrumentalist, a vocalist, songwriter, putting the beats, writing the beats above your music is always going to be a helpful tool. It's always okay to do that. Always write the beats above. In basic rhythmic training, the author gives us sort of a little bit of an aid, because he's always got the beat being shown on these bottom notes. But when we don't see the beat, it's always a good idea to have the beat written out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, if we're in 3/4, just so we remember where that is. And we may do some exercises with that as a class. So that should give you everything you need for these first examples in 3/4 time in basic rhythmic training.